Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of KingKraft Rewind. Last episode we explored the spawn area of Season 4. In episode 2 we're going to be leaving spawn and checking out some player bases and other projects that were built away from spawn. But before we head into the Nether Hub and leave spawn altogether, there's one more build that's relatively close that we're going to check out first. Welcome to the Lodge. This is an area I started kind of towards the end of Season 4 where I could experiment with horses and breeding, and also I guess kind of a custom biome type thing that I didn't get very far on. It's just path blocks right now, but I also didn't get very far in the decorating of the lodge either. But we had a speed tester for horses here. That's what that track is. We'll sell a little bit of BK redstone, and we had a jump test here to figure out how high each horse could jump. I was going to decorate this with like a natural spring running out of the mountain down into the field here. And if I remember correctly, our breeding area was down underground here. And the goal was kind of to breed where we had one of every type of horse available. So, they got I think there's 5 varieties of each color. So that was the goal, to get each of them and breed them, breed up a breeding pair, and get, good stats on all of them. Got relatively far on that, but it's kind of a grind. So, I think I wore myself out on this project, but it was fun to just more of a collect 'em all type project. So that's that. Let's head to the Nether Hub and check out some player bases. All right, this is the Nether Hub. It was designed and built by Coley, or Kicklebud at the time. If we do any videos on Season 8, you'll see this design was repurposed for the Season 8 map. Only difference there is that here the player tunnels go up. In Season 8, we designed it so they go down below this main level. This main level, all the tunnels go to community areas. So we had some, I think that's for sand, and we had one for terracotta and ice. Those are just mining biomes. And I think we had one do a desert for some reason. Or maybe this is just a farm. I don't know. The end portal is that way. And I did say we were going to check out player bases, but I think while we're here, we will go check out the theme park first. The theme park, Nether portal, if that doesn't terrify you, congratulations. So there's not a whole lot to see here at the theme park, but we'll take a look at what there is. Around the perimeter of the theme park, there's a horse race, which I don't think we ever used. It's not 100% finished, but it's usable. It's not decorated. It is usable. The idea was you breed up and bring your own horse. We've got a stable to keep them in there. Then the starting gate is there right next to it. And there are different obstacles, like there's bridges and different jump challenges. If you've got a good jumping horse, there's some ice there. I think there's on the other side of that hill from the ice, there's a big jump into the water below. It's like a waterfall. And just different, zigzags and just obstacles, that kind of thing. Down here, this game was based on something from my childhood called Crazy Bones, which means that probably no one watching is going to have any idea what that is, but they're little collectible figurines, which you'd line them up on separate sides of the table and flick them across the table to the other side and try and knock off the other player's figurines. And the person with any figurines left won. So here it was like an archery target shooting challenge. So you'd shoot, try and hit the button across the playing field there, and if you hit it, their figurine would drop off and they would go into a little chest over here. Maybe, yep, there it comes in. And you just reset it manually after the game. BK doesn't redstone. We know that. And then over here, it's like a version of Hungry Hungry Hippos, but instead of hippos and little white balls, it's like the back alley of a city. So some of these windows, they're dispensers, and they're all throwing trash out into the back alley. So your job was to pick up the trash and then come over here and throw it into your dumpster. And whoever collected the most, the fastest, the lights would light up as the trash was collected, and whoever filled up their dumpster first won. And I think at the end, a firework would go off and notate the end of the game. Here we have a Leo's boat race. Yep, that's it. And here we have something I completely forgot about. That's also going to age me terribly. There was a game show on Nickelodeon in the 90s called Legends of the Hidden Temple, which we tried to roughly recreate here on the server. We only got the last part of the game done, but we had plans to do the rest of it over here. I think that's what this sign says, claimed for Hidden Temple. Yep. It was like a team-based obstacle course is what this last challenge is. I won't go through all of the challenges, but let's see, does the mouth still work? Nope. I have no memory of how that worked, but the mouth opened and closed, which is something from the TV show. Look it up. It's on YouTube. And the last thing we have here at the theme park, I believe, was a collaborative mini golf project that Elf and I were working on. It was like our amazing putt-putt. It's like a pirate-themed putt-putt course. We're going to have the entry area here where you'd pick your ball and your club, and then you go to the first hole, and each one we're going to be themed. Like this is the Pirate Tavern, and it was going to have sort of a story behind each hole. This one, Captain Buttons. Didn't get very far with it, I think. It's 1, 2, 3. Yep, got 3 holes in. Just one more look at that before we go. So this Nether Hub uses a minecart elevator. It's really simple. You just right click and you go up to the first floor. So we've got Sin and Uni and Leo. I'm not sure what Hemsey or Stowe had this season, so we will check out Sin first. Before we begin the base tours, I will say that in order to keep the length of this video manageable, some of these base tours are going to be somewhat abbreviated because we have lunatics on the server who build stuff like this, which would take ages to check out every little detail, but we will have a mosey around and see what we see. So this is Sin's base. You come out of this massive nether portal, and there's almost too much to see. I think we'll have to do like a montage at the end, but we'll walk around and take a look inside some of these buildings. Obviously went with a Roman theme. Looks like this is a stable area or barn. Got a bunch of tents set up here at the dock area. I think this was his storage room. There's another portal here. Must have missed that. You'll notice a kind of similar style to the post office. But this is his storage room, or building rather. Has this massive lighthouse, which I think is based off of the Lighthouse of Alexandria, which remember, because you'll see that again. And over here off of the main island, I think he was working on a villager area with a bunch of little houses. And of course, if you have a Roman area, you've got to have a communal bath. So we won't do this for every base we look at today, but like I said, there's almost just too much to see. So we'll do a short montage, flyover kind of thing right now. Uni and Leo shared a nether tunnel this season because their bases are right next to each other, so we'll go check those out right now. There's not a whole lot to see at Uni's base, but his nether portal leads into his storage room, which is beautiful. It's colorful and detailed, and all around just a wonderful place to hang out. Uni's big thing this season was this custom biome. So he's got some custom trees and did some cool things like using leaves as the ground and path blocks in a kind of larger area, kind of like what we did at the horse lodge. But no, I stole that from him. Don't give me credit for that. But some down trees and some custom rocks. It gives it a cool aesthetic. So he didn't do a whole lot. His neighbor, on the other hand, Leo's base is another one where there's almost too much to see, so we'll probably do another short montage at the end of this little tour. It's based on Avatar: The Last Airbender, maybe? I think that's what I remember. I'm also not familiar with the series, so stuff that's referenced around here, you'll see, and maybe you'll get the reference. But I won't be able to help point it out. So let's take a look around. I lied. He knew sometime in the future some idiot would be doing a base tour for him. This is the Southern Air Temple Dojo. Ooh. This base was also done when Leo was doing a lot of streaming on Twitch, and I think these chests, Sketchy Baton, Lavender Courage, I think these are viewers of his stream, and there was some reward or something for doing something on his stream. I don't remember. But the Nula... Oh, that one's empty. Maybe he didn't get that far. Grave Ghast. Hyper Guy 1010. Thank you guys for watching Leo many years ago. This is Quidditch, right? And there's this giant temple-looking thing, which I famously pranked by filling it with boats. It looks like it's been claimed. Let's go home together. Uh-huh. I found these treasures. Looks like these are the follower counts he hit while he was streaming on Twitch. Hi, I'm Lee, and I hit 1,900 followers, but who knows when? That's my Leo impression. Actually, he's English, would be like, hi, I'm Lee, and I hit 9. I would like to issue a formal apology to the entirety of England, and let's do a montage. Floor 2, we have Miss Pink and Jazz. I know Miss Pink wasn't a member very long, so I don't know that there's much to see out there, but we can go check out Jazz Dude. Jazz joined kind of late in the season, so he's got a little hole-in-the-wall house there, but he was working on this really cool custom mushroom biome. Floor 3, we've got Merc and Lisa, Forrest, the Blue Creeper, and Coley. I know Coley and Forrest had pretty built-up bases, and they've also got really cool tunnels, so we'll check those out, starting with Forrest. The cool thing about Forest Base is that it kind of starts in the nether with this giant clock tower build, and then you go inside and go through and come out into a version of the same build in the overworld. The biggest thing Forest had was this giant villager trading room, which, thinking back now, I know last episode I couldn't remember who had the enchanted bookshop. I'm pretty sure it was Forest. Also had this really cool underground storage room, which was a bear to find. So Coley's nether tunnel is like a pixel art museum. He made these different paintings and gave them all dumb art names. The Burned Mind, that's not a good one to start on. Alone. Accurate. Purity. The Binding Century. Blue. Now that's art. But his base is also really cool. It's a little disorienting when you come out of his portal because you don't know where you are. It's like you're inside of a build. But are you outside? There's no windows. Then you come out here and you... Oh, you're very much underground. He had this cool... He was going to do a underground aquarium build, preparing for the 1.13 update, which we were never able to update to on this map. But this whole room is going to be filled with water. He got those jellyfish, and I think that's a whale. Yeah, that's a whale build. So this base would have been, I mean, it's already a cool looking build, but it would have been so much cooler had we been able to update to the ocean update or whatever 1.13 was called. And he'd been able to fulfill his vision of this base. But still a really cool base nonetheless. I think this one's my favorite. concluded hazard number 2. Way better than number 1. Level 4, we've got Zelcat. Zell had an underground base with very strong Ethos Lab LP vibes with the grass and the oak log or oak plank border. It's really easy to get lost down here. There's a storage room, had some farms, and it's really just a maze we got here. And I've already lost the portal. Aha, found it. Thanks a lot, Zell. Level 5, we got Elf and me. So we'll check out Elf first. Elf, why tunnel so long? Oh yeah. Buttons. So Uni and Crazy pranked Elf's base by placing buttons on every block where they could be placed, and looks like he got them cleaned up off the ground, but the walls of the castle still appear to be very much buttoned. He had done some really cool map art. I'm not sure what happened to that. That's really unfortunate. But he had done this, started a castle build. I know he had plans to continue the build outside of the walls, but I think, like I keep saying, the activity on this season was just kind of meh. But actually, I think I built these trees. I think he may have commissioned me to do some weeping willow trees in here. I don't know if he had anything inside these towers. Just more buttons. Yep, buttons. I feel so bad for Elf. Oh dear. Yeah, I wouldn't have cleaned this up either. I'm sorry, Elf. I guess my punishment is having to ride back to the Nether Hub. My turn. I technically had 2 bases because for the longest time I thought it would be so cool to build in one of these mountain savanna biomes. And then I started, and what a nightmare. What a dumb nightmare idea that was. So there's this little like village and clock tower with like a hanging farm, I think that was going to be there in the middle, and that's it. I had enough. So I went off to do something else. Remember when I said you'd see the Lighthouse of Alexandria again? I did it too! And the whole base centers around this building, so we'll start our tour here. I was really into lore and detail this season, so inside this ancient lighthouse is the Tree of Life, from whence water floweth and allows life to flourish here in a desert environment. There's also you can't see it. There's the upper floors of the lighthouse are like dark room floors, and maybe we'll see a mob drop. Maybe. Hello? No, but they do spawn, I swear. That's some just resource farming gathering out here at the base. And those springs flow from the Tree of Life out into the desert and out into the town, which allow farming and anything that needs water. And here in the center of town, another Tree of Life has sprouted up around the original town well. See signs of green sprouting out. Hello? Aw. Little guy. Did you take a door from me? Did you take a door from me? But the idea was that wherever this water flows throughout the village, you see green sprouting up and the terrain beginning to change. As far as the buildings go, they're all just residential houses. I didn't get so far into the build that we had started a castle or anything like that. This was my sort of compound, which I don't think I got to the point where I was moving. No. This was going to be like my storage room and my house out here in the base. But didn't get that far. I just started decorating. And it is a working village. There are some villagers around. Maybe? Hello? Here you can see how the water is changing the terrain a little bit, so much so that they've been able to start farming out here. This was like an armory or fort type building, I think. Or maybe a stables? Looks an awful lot like a stable, doesn't it? Aha! Found you. We might just be down to this one guy now. But that's okay. The season's over. Um, yeah, that's my base. Um, I really like this style. It's really easy to build in, very modular. You just build rectangles and then decorate the rectangles, and it's done. Um, let's head back to the Nether Hub and check out another base. There's not much on floor 6, so we'll skip that, but on floor 7, we've got Omer and Doom. Not a whole lot to see from Omer this season, just on the edge of that giant mega taiga biome that Spawn is in. Got some western, well, almost western style buildings out here in the mesa. I think this is his main house. Knock, knock. Yep, there's his bed. Got the storage room here next door. And if I had to guess, I'd say a squid farm? Question mark? Lots more to see from Omer in future seasons, but small base on this one. Doom's base would be very good for hide and seek. He was working on this swamp village fortress, which obviously he wasn't able to complete. I think he was one of the members that kind of took a break during the season, as quite a few did. So not a whole lot to see here, but you can kind of see what he was going for. Would have been a cool actual village to get some villagers in here. Trading district, yep. So he had plans, just plans and cows. What more do you need? Ding ding, top floor. Zach, I remember, has an extraordinarily long tunnel with nothing at the end, so we won't be going down there. So I guess we will check out Gaz, Dory, and Bug's base, which is trapped. It's also incredibly long, so we'll fly. Almost 5,000 blocks later, and here we are. The reason it's so far away is because it was originally a mushroom biome, which you can still see some traces of. Well, more than traces when you go far enough away. But I guess this was the closest one. You see they started this huge castle build. I'm not sure what is inside. Ah, hello friend. Got a fountain. And I know they had something over here in a hill. Looks like this was their storage room. Got his and hers suits of armor. A mega smelter back here. Got some really cool underground farms. And a very fine villager trading hall. They also had this insane iron golem farm back from when the farms used doors instead of beds. There are villagers here as well. But farms have become much simpler in the last few years. And that's pretty much it for season 4. Like I said, one of our shorter, more inactive seasons, but still had a lot going on. Next episode, we will dive into season 5, which I know we're going to need more than 2 episodes for that season. I think there's conservatively more than 4 times as much to see in that season than there was here. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this trip down memory lane, and we will see you in the next one. Bye!